Hello, and welcome to Celeb Reel, the spot where we expose the stories Hollywood prays you overlook. If you crave unfiltered truth, real pressure, and the kind of drama everyone else is too scared to touch, you already know you're in the right place. In today's topic, a showdown nobody saw coming. Katt Williams versus Snoop Dogg.
Career down the road. People might not want to book you in Texas or Arizona or California.
Sir. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It all kicked off with a warning, and not from cops or some rap enemy. This one came directly from Katt Williams himself. Yeah.
Snoop is just really hilarious.
Snoop Dogg is funny,
He's doing all these things.
Katt Williams, the man who refuses to mute a single word or pamper Hollywood's ego. And this time, he's calling out Snoop for what he says is straight up selling out. Or, as Katt phrased it, turning into a political dog. Katt didn't hold back. He shot off the line. No, sir. Down the road, folks might not even book you in Texas, Arizona, or California. Wouldn't that be something? You could feel the sting in every syllable.
Yeah. Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black.
Katt wasn't playing. This was a real warning shot. When Katt speaks, it's never for clout. He talks when the culture feels off balance. And in his eyes, Snoop is walking a risky path caught between power, politics, and loyalty.
I want to say this real quick. Now on the political shit. All you people for the federal government that got not getting paid right now, ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid
Katt's been ripping through Hollywood all year, exposing fake friendships and quiet backdoor deals. Steve Harvey, Cedric, D.L. Hughley. Nobody's been off limits. But the moment he mentioned Snoop Dogg, the whole room went still. Because Snoop isn't just a rapper, he's an icon.
Inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States of America, Snoop Dogg performed at the Crypto Ball. Now, Snoop Dogg, he got the backlash because people are like, wait, this isn't the same Snoop from 2016 who had so much to say about the art.
A legend who climbed from death row records all the way to the White House, from the block to America's living rooms. People still remember when Snoop said, "I ain't into no political underscore. All you folks in the government not getting paid, that ain't right." That was the old Snoop, the one who spoke for the people. But Katt's message struck a nerve. Snoop ain't that same dog anymore. Somewhere along the road, he stopped barking truth and started rubbing shoulders with power. This isn't the Snoop who stood next to Pac and lived through the death row era. And Katt Williams is making sure folks don't forget it. This isn't the Snoop fans grew up saluting. This is the Snoop doing baking shows with Martha Stewart, showing up in insurance ads, and pushing pet food on TV. And Katt is asking the question everybody whispers. What happened to the dog who made the streets proud?
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you?
To Katt, this new version of Snoop, the one shaking hands with CEOs and cozying up to politicians, isn't growth. It's betrayal. He doesn't call it leveling up. He calls it selling out. The same man who once rapped about dodging danger and surviving the madness is now side by side with the very system he warned the culture about.
Snoop is just really hilarious.
Snoop Dogg is funny,
He's doing all these things.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you?
And that's what his Katt heated. He feels like the real Snoop got buried under fame, corporate deals, and billionaire circles. Now, don't get it twisted, Katt still respects Snoop as a legend. He said himself, Snoop broke barriers for an entire era, pushed West Coast culture into the mainstream, and made success look too easy.
Of course, Snoop has responded to the backlash he received for performing for a Trump event. One of the things he pointed out was that we always stick together. We're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent when somebody gets into trouble. It takes backlash from the community. It's always a communal thing. It isn't any action they took. It is the fact that we can't stay together, that we can't stick together, that it's us always attacking us. But that flies in the face of the reality of what's happening right now. It is not us who are tearing down affirmative action. It is not us who is tearing down DEI. It is not us who are tearing families apart. It is not us who have decided that affirmative action and rollbacks that have been that had precedent for 50, 60 years are gone. It is not us that is doing it. It is, I think most people are disappointed because they saw you a specific way, and you have a right to kind of interpret and do whatever artistically you want to. No one's begrudging you that. But why the attack on the community because they disagree with something you did?
But in Katt's eyes, something switched. That raw energy, that fearless voice, that straight-up honesty Snoop once carried for the people, it's slipping away. The Snoop who used to stand against the machine is now standing right beside it. And in a world where authenticity gets bought, buried, or blurred, Katt Williams isn't biting his tongue. He's calling it exactly how he sees it: loud, surgical, and without a single ounce of fear. And when Katt talks, the whole room freezes because he says the things everybody else is terrified to even whisper. But where did this tension between two icons actually start? Let's roll it back. Early 2000s, Snoop Dogg was untouchable. He survived the death row chaos, dodged industry traps, rebuilt himself, and created a legacy nobody dared question. He wasn't just a rapper. He was a walking blueprint, co-signed by Jay-Z, Ice Cube, 50 Cent. Every heavyweight in hip-hop stamped him as the OG of all OGs. The cool-headed mentor, the wise uncle, the man everyone trusted. Then the shift began. Fans started noticing a different Snoop, showing up at political dinners, smiling beside power players, defending certain celebrities but staying suspiciously quiet on others. He started backing brands, campaigns, and causes that didn't line up with the Snoop who once rode for the streets. And that's when Katt said he saw the first warning signs. The kind of moves that make you question if someone's being real or just performing for the cameras. Then Katt dropped one of his sharpest lines ever. When they can't control you, they cancel you. And when they can't cancel you, they recruit you. And in Katt's mind, that's exactly what happened to Snoop. The industry couldn't shut him down, so they cleaned him up, pulled him in, and made him safe. The real pressure built when Katt watched how Snoop reacted to the biggest scandals shaking hip-hop. When artists were getting blackballed, Snoop said nothing. When insiders exposed the industry's darkest secrets, he stayed the peacemaker. When conversations about abuse and exploitation came up, he didn't make a sound, like it had nothing to do with him. But the second Hollywood rolled out a red carpet, there was Snoop front row, all smiles, cameras flashing from every direction. To Katt Williams, that wasn't loyalty at all. That was pure survival mode. A man guarding his position, not guarding his people. And that's the part Katt says stings the most. Because if there's one thing Katt has built his entire career on, it's speaking the truth even when it burns every bridge in sight. So when a legend like Snoop goes silent, to Katt, that feels like betrayal. So when Katt fired off, I'm giving Snoop his last warning. Stop being a political dog. He wasn't tossing shade for entertainment. He was taking a direct shot at someone he once genuinely admired. A clear line drawn in the dirt. In Katt's mind, there are only two types of dogs. The street dog, loyal, wild, unfiltered, loyal to the truth. And the political dog, groomed, polished, obedient, trained to keep powerful people comfortable. Katt believes Snoop used to be the first one. Raw, real, unpredictable, the true voice of the streets. But now, he's acting like the second, a man molded to defend the industry instead of challenging it. And let's be honest, Katt isn't talking in a thin air. These days, Snoop is on TV more than he's in the studio, hosting cooking shows instead of pulling up to community fights, selling brands, selling products, selling everything except that fire he once carried. He's not just an artist anymore, he's a corporation. One of the most successful ever, sure, but Katt is asking the question nobody else wants to touch. At what cost? Katt's not anti-success. He's not anti-growth. He's asking something deeper. Did Snoop grow as a man or just grow as a brand? Because those two evolutions don't hit the same. And coming from Katt Williams, that question lands different. The industry tried everything to break him. Arrests, blackballing, smear campaigns, and he still never folded. He never softened his voice, never switched sides for a bag. That's why people trust Katt. He has no sponsors to impress, no elites to please, no empire to lose. He's not scared of losing fans or money. What scares him is what happens when real voices get muted. And here's where things get even deeper. Katt and Snoop were never strangers. They didn't grow in two separate worlds. They're both West Coast giants, one ruling comedy, the other ruling rap. Both respected, both stamped by the culture. Back in the 2000s, their bond was solid. Snoop showed Katt nothing but love. Guest appearances, radio banter, inside jokes, backstage vibes. The respect was mutual. But as the years passed, Katt started noticing a distance. He was out here naming names: Steve Harvey, DL, Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, calling out the stuff everyone else avoided. And Snoop? Silent. Not even a whisper. What made it worse for Katt was seeing the same people he was exposing standing next to Snoop in smiling photos like everything was cool. To Katt, that wasn't loyalty. That was betrayal wrapped in designer outfits. Because if you stand on truth, you don't go quiet when your voice could actually matter. That's the exact moment Katt drew his line, but he said it plain. You can't say you're for the people while shaking hands with the puppeteers. And everybody knew exactly who that was aimed at. Straight at Snoop. Katt didn't hint, didn't sugarcoat, didn't blink. He wanted the message to land hard. And honestly, this isn't the first time Snoop's been accused of switching sides. Back in those chaotic death row days, he was all street, loyal, loud, unfiltered. A man who stood on business, moved with the pack, and talked like he had nothing to lose. But after Tupac's death, the energy shifted. Snoop stepped back from Suge Knight, distanced himself from death row, and started forging new alliances. Even today, fans debate, was it survival or a straight-up switch? After leaving death row, Snoop linked up with Master P at No Limit, then reinvented himself again, corporate, Hollywood, and eventually a full-blown celebrity icon. He transformed more than any rapper of his era. That reinvention is what kept him alive in the game. But it's also why some fans started side-eyeing him, wondering if the same dog that once barked against the system was now guarding it. Here's the real talk. Katt isn't trying to destroy Snoop's legacy. He's not jealous. He's not bitter. He's questioning the soul behind the evolution. He's saying, in effect, you used to lead the culture. Now you're following the machine. That hits differently because Katt isn't talking about fame. He's talking about integrity. In his eyes, Snoop stopped being the voice of the streets and became a polished brand, playing by Hollywood script. Snoop hasn't clapped back at Katt, at least not publicly. But the internet exploded, and opinions split fast. On one side, people say Katt's just bitter, envious of Snoop's corporate success, upset he never got the same deals. They argue Snoop did what any survivor would: evolve, stay relevant, and secure the bag. After all he's been through, he earned the right to shake hands with whoever he wants. The other side, they're riding with Katt, claiming he's the only one brave enough to say what the culture's been whispering for decades. They argue Snoop's been double-dipping, preaching real while cashing corporate checks, talking streets while living like a brand ambassador. And honestly, both sides have a point, because this isn't just Katt versus Snoop anymore. It's a collision of two visions of success. Snoop is the survivor, outlived the chaos, stayed relevant, built an empire. Katt is the rebel, refusing to bend even when the world tries to crush him. Two worlds colliding. Play the game or expose the game. And right now, Katt's message is crystal clear. He believes Snoop crossed the line long ago, buried too deep in the system to ever walk out clean again. When Katt dropped that warning, it didn't feel like random drama. It sounded like thunder. Loud, sharp, a sign that something bigger was coming. Fans instantly started decoding what he meant. Was Katt warning Snoop about karma? About what happens when you trade authenticity for politics? Or was he warning him about trying to play both sides, knowing eventually both sides will betray you? Then there's the third group, the ones who think Katt is just tired. Tired of seeing legends he once respected transform into shadows of their former selves. He watched men he admired turn into puppets for power, and Katt sees the same thing happening to the giants he once loved. And it eats at him. Katt said it best. The moment you stop speaking for the people stop speaking for you. That's exactly the message he's firing straight at Snoop. No matter how rich, how iconic, or how globally celebrated you become, if the streets stop feeling you, your crown doesn't mean a thing. That's why this warning from Katt cuts deeper than a casual call-out. It's personal, bigger than one rapper, one interview, one beef. It's aimed at every entertainer who climbed the ladder but forgot who held it steady at the bottom. Katt's sending a message to all of them. Don't let them reshape you. Don't let them shrink your voice. Once you lose your realness, they don't need you anymore. That's the heavy truth hiding under the glitz and the noise. Snoop's career shows just how slippery fame can get. The man has been everything: gangster rapper, cultural icon, business mogul, comedian, host, actor, brand. He's earned every win, no questions asked. And what he's done for hip-hop, for the West Coast, for culture at large. Untouchable. But with every polished move, one question keeps surfacing. Has Snoop gotten too comfortable? Too corporate? Too political? This is the same Snoop Dogg who once declared, "F the system." The same Snoop who spoke raw, unfiltered truth. Now, he's across from a system on daytime TV, smiling, shaking hands, joking. That's the part Katt refuses to respect. Still, no matter how wild this gets, one fact remains. Nobody can erase Snoop Dogg's legacy. He built West Coast hip-hop brick by brick, bar by bar. But Katt's warning feels like a crossroads. Fame can make you shine, but it can also dim your truth if you let it. Snoop's legacy is monumental, but which version of Snoop will define it? He's mentored younger artists, opened doors, created opportunities, and given back to the community in ways most rappers never do. He's one of the few hip-hop legends who aged with grace. No scandals, no public meltdowns, no messy implosions. But maybe that's the problem. In an industry fueled by chaos and rebellion, being calm starts to look suspicious. And then there's Katt Williams. Pure electricity, loud, raw, unpredictable, and brutally honest. When Katt sees Snoop's polished calmness, he doesn't see maturity. He sees compliance. And that's exactly why this story isn't over. When Katt says, "Last warning," he's not dropping a soundbite. He means it. If Snoop even thinks about firing back, Katt will swing 10 times harder, ready to drag the industry into the storm. This isn't just another celebrity feud. It's a collision of philosophies: truth versus tolerance, rebel versus rulebook, fighter versus figurehead. Katt stand for the raw, unfiltered people. Snoop represents the dream, the legend who got out, leveled up, and built an empire. Both started real. Both changed the culture. But only one refuses to play the Hollywood game. And in Katt's eyes, that's the difference. It's not about money, fame, or awards. It's about who still stands on truth when the lights go dim. Katt looks at Snoop and asks the question buzzing across the internet. Are you still the dog from Long Beach? Or just another piece of the machine? What happens next? Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. In this industry, silence speaks louder than words. And if Snoop stays quiet, it might not mean peace. It could mean power is still pulling strings behind the curtain. This is Creel, breaking down the drama behind the shine.